ready? It's the Round Table with me, Robert Bannon.
Well, welcome to another edition of the Round Table. My name is Robert Bannon. You're listening to Some Broadway World or over here on the Broadway Podcast Network. I would be lying if I didn't say I had a few fun nights at the Duplex in New York City. I've had a couple fun nights at the Duplex in New York City, everybody. It is literally one of the most iconic venues in all of New York City. It is the perfect month to go to the Duplex. It is a historic part of New York City, especially during Pride and here in this community. And I'm so excited to talk to our next people that are here to tell us about a show. I love a show that's a double bill, Witches and Aliens. One night, two shows. We're talking about Encounter. We're talking about Christmas Eve in DIKANKA, and I may have said it wrong. And if I did, we're going to fix it. Kit and Zena are here to tell us about an epic night that you need to get tickets for over at this. Get your tickets. We'll tell you all about it. Kit, Zena, welcome to the show.
Hi, Robert.
The Duplex is where it's at. The Duplex is where we're going to be.
You bet. We're really excited to be there.
So we're talking about a show called Encounter, a space cabaret. And Christmas Eve, how do you say it? How wrong was I?
It's a DIKANKA. DIKANKA. You were very close.
I was very close. I did it wrong on purpose, Kit, just so you had the chance to just, I had no. This is so great. So how do you know each other, Kit? How do you know Zena?
Fun story. Kit, go for it, please.
Okay.
I love the way you tell it.
So this is actually my second musical that is based on a story by Nikolai Gogol, the author. And my first story was a musical I wrote based on The Nose. And it was a short family musical. And Zena's mom produced it in South Africa after seeing it in New York City. And Zena was the first music director of that show in South Africa. So that is kind of where we get this connection from. And then about 2 years ago, we met in person at actually the Soho Playhouse at a cabaret, which featured songs from Christmas Eve in DIKANKA that Zena and her mom came to. And and then we've just been friends since.
Yeah, and then last year we had a coffee where we said we wanted to collaborate and push the proverbial rock up the hill together. And exactly a year ago, that was last year, May 6th. And now we're in New York City, deep in pre-production, marketing the show.
I'm excited. I love it. I read your bios about both of you. Zena does a little bit of everything. I mean, it says in here that you're a producer, director, writer, cabaret performer, been New York and Amsterdam, which is super fancy. And we could follow you on social media, and all that information will be below us. And then Kit, Kit comes from us, everybody, that has done a lot of theater and a lot of one-act festivals and a lot of from school tours to writing to, I don't know, you studied at Juilliard. Like y'all are very fancy, dancy people. I want to be on Kit's podcast. I'm just booked myself on her own podcast, which is on NPR. So where do you both find time with all of that to write? Kit, where do you find time to write a play?
And in addition, I have a 5-year-old. So, well, I'm primarily really a composer, lyricist, librettist. That's like my main focus. And I also teach a lot, teach musical theater writing. So those are kind of my two things I spend the most time on. And I've done many shows over the years here in New York. I've really had a great time working on shows for children as well. Like I have done school tours of them and musicals primarily. And I just work all the time. I just like working all the time. I love theater and I can't be away from it. So I get bored really easily if I'm not doing a show. So yeah.
I understand. Zena, how about you? How did this come? Like, how do you juggle it all?
I mean, it's always been like this, literally. Like I started dancing when I was 5. I was like playing xylophones and stuff. It was like school. And then it was like 3 extramural arts activities every day, like all the time, rinse and repeat. I sang in this like global classical music choir that went all over the world. It's just been like this. It's how I like living. It's how I operate. It's how I think. When I'm writing, I'm thinking about the world. And like as you saw, I do a lot of work about space and the natural world. And yeah, it's just the way I kind of like living, and it just works.
So while we're talking, everyone, works for me. Sounds good for me. The show's June 12th, June 13th, and June 14th, all at 7 o'clock at the Duplex, which is down on Christopher Street, and the tickets are only $30. So like you don't even have to remortgage your house to get a ticket to see theater like you do in New York City, which is really the case for a lot of people. So Zena, tell me, why the Duplex? Why is that place the perfect place for this show? And what is a double header? See, she's a mom.
You heard the 5-year-old. Yeah.
You heard it. You heard it right here, folks. Well, it's newly renovated, which is really exciting. And just having that connection with the audience. I mean, that's one of the reasons I love working in the cabaret genre. It's because you get to put all your favorite things together, and then you get to have that connection with the audience. And that space is just, like you said, historic, amazing to have that connection with the audience like that, and so quirky and nice. So yeah, super excited to do the double bill in that space. And like you said, it's a full night of like 2 wacky, hilarious shows. So it's 2 hours with a little changeover in between. So people really get the whole shebang in one night for sure.
It's perfect. 2 for the price of 1, really. So Kit, for you,
really,
when you go into the space and you get to perform and see your words performed on stage, what does it mean for you as a writer?
Yeah, well, actually, so the Duplex, I've had works performed at the Duplex before, and I've always had a great time doing it, and like in larger other shows. And in this case, like I'm not a performer. I'm going to be happily sitting in the audience watching and not having to be on stage. Although I actually have performed one of my own songs at the Duplex, which I never thought I would do. But for this one, I get to watch, and the Duplex is just like a really great space. It's sorry, my kid is making a cameo.
Hi, babies. I see it. I love it.
I am in an interview right now, honey. Can you go?
We're going to start asking questions about
We're gonna cut
them as well.
Sorry, we're watching a Curious George over here. So the Duplex, though, it's actually coming back after having been closed for a couple of years due to various reasons. I think COVID, and there was some fire damage, I believe. And so we're really excited to be one of the shows that kind of reopening the space after a long closure. And there was a show that was in there, Little House on the Ferry, that was there a little bit ago. And then I think we're the next show that's come after that. And it feels really special to get to be sort of reopening the space with them. And just such a loved space,
It is. It's legendary. So
yes.
For Zena, when we talk about your everybody, we can get our tickets. The tickets are on sale, by the way. Here we go. So Encounter a Space Cabaret. Tell it what. I have this question for both of you. What is Encounter a Space Cabaret?
Yes. So I've been doing like space related content since 2018. And because I also work in cabaret, I made up this term, which I call space cabaret. So that's what it is. But basically, it's about this larger than life TV host, Space Weather Girl, and she gets a mysterious broadcast from Mars and gets caught in this interplanetary moment, and it's like a historical mating crisis. So that's basically in a nutshell.
And you have all new original music.
Yes.
Busy musical.
Yes, exactly. I wrote the melody and lyrics for 3 of the pieces, and I've been working with this lovely pianist-composer called Lucas Heinen. He's in South Africa. And then Kit wrote and composed the 4th track, which is called 5 Ways to Die on Mars. And it's actually inspired by, I did a documentary in 2020 where I interviewed like NASA scientists, SETI scientists about creativity in space. And this one scientist told me about these 5 ways to die on Mars. And he said it in such a funny way. And it always just like stuck with me. So that was the inspiration for that song that Kit then beautifully put to music. And super excited for that as well.
Well, I'll never find out how to die on Mars because I'm petrified and I will never go. I'm not like Katy Perry or Gayle King. I'm scared. So, but I would love to buy a ticket so then I can see how the 5 ways to die on Mars over at the show while on Earth, which is also a scary place these days. But that's besides the point.
That's besides the point.
Kit, so for you have your show and your half of this extravaganza is Christmas Eve. And I'm not going to say it again. DIKANKA.
DIKANKA, you got it. You got
So
it.
tell us what is your show about and where was your inspiration from?
Yes. So we're actually doing this. It's a musical. We're doing an in-concert version. So there'll be some narration between the songs, and it's going to be a fun evening. It won't be like the full-on show. It'll be like a cut down version. So you can kind of get to see the music and get to enjoy it that way. And this show is based on a story inspired by a story by Nikolai Gogol, as I mentioned, who's an author from Ukraine. And we're based on some Ukrainian folklore of that the night before Christmas, the devil is allowed free out of hell to cause what mischief he can until the dawn of Christmas Day. And so we have this really wacky story about a blacksmith named Vakula who wants to win the heart of his lady love, Oksana, but she won't marry him unless he gets her shoes like those of the Tsarina by the dawn of Christmas Day. And it's already Christmas Eve, so how is he going to do that? In the meanwhile, he's got a real problem in his life, which is he's super embarrassed by his mom because his mom is a promiscuous witch. And he's like all religious and, and also just embarrassed by his mom because who wants a mom who's a promiscuous witch? So, so it's a lot about their relationship and his quest to get the slippers while the devil comes down and wants to get vengeance on the blacksmiths for painting unattractive portraits of the devil. Because the devil is, of course, much more handsome than that. He is a handsome devil, of course. So that's kind of what the story is. And it's really fun and wacky show. Yeah.
This is a hoot because these two shows are both a hoot. I mean, you literally have Mars and aliens and space or whatever, etc. And then you have the promiscuous witch mother devil show. So this nothing
100%.
Yep.
This is like if you're a theater fan and you love something on the fringe and avant-garde and fun and creative and new, and you're tired of going to see theater that's just old movies recycled into musicals, then this is the night for you. Zena, what do you want? Zena, like
Yes.
Tina. What do
Zena
you
like
want? What do you want people to leave your show and get out of it? Besides a good time, is there a message? Is there a theme? Is there something we should be thinking about while we're there?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, one is like message wise, and two is sort of like tonally. I would say message wise, yes, it's fun. It's a comedy. It's a space cabaret. But also, I think where Kit and I draw some parallels as well is that there are some themes of being a woman on Earth or being a woman in a certain time. Just some of these kinds of themes. And with my show specifically, I'm playing with these sort of split seconds in the natural world as well as in our world. I mean, it's all the natural world, but like split second happenings like the Big Bang or falling in love or conception, just these quick, big things that happen in such a short amount of time. And so the show kind of like is a metaphor of these personal kind of stories that I have in my life. And then also these split second things that happen completely unpredictably in our lives. And then it's all set on the backdrop of weather and how unpredictable weather is. And so kind of like drawing parallels between the worlds like that. So there is definitely like a part for the audience to be reflective and this kind of thing, but definitely not gravitating too far away from the space cabaret aspect.
Oh, it's fun. It sounds good. You said Quick Conception. I think that's going to be my new drag name if I'm ever at the
Quick Conception, love it. I approve.
It's okay. I was gonna talk about promiscuous witch mothers, but my mom watches this, so I'm not gonna make it. So Kit, tell us, is there something that you're trying to teach us within this lesson of this show that we should be looking for and that's important in the world today?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot about the role of women in the show and about the role of the promiscuous witch mother and why can't she be a promiscuous witch mother? So yeah, there's a lot of that, and then like her and her child becoming, coming to a better understanding of each other. throughout the show, and also about the female characters and just like the way that the female characters have been portrayed throughout history versus how perhaps we might like them to be portrayed. So there's actually some fun there's some fun modern stuff in the show. There are some Bechdel test references, and there's some fun conflict between the character who just wants the beautiful slippers, and we might think she's an airheaded bimbo character, and her facing up to the witch character, and just sort of facing up to the roles that have existed throughout history. And I mean, I love the original story this is based on, but I did want to give some of my own take onto the female characters and onto what I thought the ending should really be. So I'm not going to give that away here, but I did play a little fast and loose with the original story there. And so, so I think there's some about that. And we feel like there's a lot of correlations between our two with those, some of those messages. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun night, everybody. We're talking about Witches and Aliens, a double bill encounter of Space Cabaret, Christmas Eve in DIKANKA, a musical and concert. And the writers are here June 12th through the 14th over at the Duplex. Go downtown to the village and have a good old time. So are you both planning after this successful run and 3 shows? Zena, you've worked and collaborated together. Is there more work that can happen together?
100%. I mean, so Encounter is going for a full run at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe between July 31st and August 24th. So that's super exciting. And Kit has, can I publicly say your dream?
Go for it. Go for it.
Well, Kit has also been thinking about Edinburgh. So that's quite a exciting thing to do, because it feels like we're doing this together, and then it's going on to Fringe, and whereas perhaps next year we could do that again. But also we're super focused on connecting with other makers, producers, creators in the space who are excited about story-driven new work, and who want to see a future for these 2 shows, because we definitely see a future for them and the rest of our written work. So we're trying to reach out to everyone who's interested in having a chat with us, seeing our work, seeing where it can go, and just collaborating like that as well.
Well, come on, Kit. Let's go. Get on the plane.
I know. Yeah, this initially started because we were talking about possibly, doing both shows at Edinburgh right now. But my show is a little bit larger and more complicated. so we're holding off a year on that, but hopefully we're able to do that in a year. Yeah, we've had some workshops of Christmas Eve in DIKANKA, some staged readings, and we feel like we're sort of gearing the plane for the runway here. And being able to do this concert is another step along that runway. Yeah.
And we're also super excited about the team that we brought together for this. I mean, we've got Jen Wineman, who's our director. She's incredible. She's come off of doing 5 at Theatre 555. She's done that parenting musical at Theatre Row. Like, she's really amazing, and she's got the comedy. The comedy button is on, and we're super excited to be working with her. And then we've got just a great team right now that we're working with. We can mention everyone. We've got Alexa Powell as an associate producer. We got Paul Siebelt on PR. We have Judith Manicherian on as our producer. Did I leave anyone out?
We have Colleen Mulder, our social media. We have Henko Espag as our musical director. We have Theater Now New York as our fiscal sponsor and associate producing, I think. Yeah. And I forgot the term exactly. And so we just are getting a lot of people sort of in our corner with working on this, and it helps build our teams toward the future and like other people who we hope to keep involved with our productions. Exactly.
The infrastructure is set. The team is in place, and and we're going to just go out and do this show. So before you go to Edinburgh and hear about it next year after Fringe and it gets its run off Broadway or wherever you all want it to go, because that's where a lot of shows go after they head out to Fringe festivals around the world. We've had a lot of people who that's where it all started for them. You can get heads up. You can get the jump on it. You can get your tickets for $30 and catch it before it goes international, and then see where the road takes it after that this month. You can just go see the show, stay at the Duplex, have a drink for pride, whoop it up, and go home. That's what it's about.
You bet.
Sounds like a perfect
really
night to me.
Yeah.
And Zena, thank you so much for being here. We're really excited for everybody to check it out. You can get your tickets. You can go to the Duplex. All of their information is going to be below us. If you're listening to us right now on a podcast, or if you're watching us on YouTube or over on any other of our platforms, make sure you look below and click the links. You can follow them both on social media, and you can get your tickets to see the show June 12th, 13th, and 14th at 7 o'clock over at the Duplex. I wish you both the best. Congratulations. This is fun. Congratulations on this. And I hope you come back when you tell us all about how it goes.
Oh, thank you, Robert. It was so fun to be here today.
Thank you.